How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. This is amazing. I mean, we've been trying to connect, and finally we are here.
Wow.
So,
Network won't just allow it.
okay,
I don't think the network is allowing it. Is it fine?
yeah, is it? It is. It is fine now. It is fine now. It was an issue. Now it
Okay.
is fine. Okay, so Anna, this session is to learn your journey, so that when we can share this on our YouTube channel, Maarifaa TV, so that when everybody who's watching us online, they can learn your journey from Zambia, Lusaka. That's what I understand. I mean, you are from Lusaka, right? Lusaka
Yes.
to Vishakhapatnam. Okay, so this is to this is to inspire all those aspiring African youth who are looking at India to come and study. So
Okay.
welcome to the show. So to
Thank
start
you.
with, I would request you to share your personal information about you, if you're okay, about your family, a little bit about your personal style.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Good afternoon once again. My name is Anna Mwamba Nayame. I'm 24 years of age. I'm a firstborn in a family of five. Um, I've been raised by a single mother. I lost my dad in 2013, May 22nd.
I'm sorry.
Mm, I have a stepmom with half sisters, of which we share a dad, and on my mother's side, we are three, two brothers and myself. Uh, I completed my high school on the Copper Belt, which is like the mining part of our country, which I completed in 2019. And from there, I didn't have anyone to sponsor me, so I had to get a job. I worked as a retail store assistant for 5 months, I should say, for 5 months, and things were hard. But while I was working there, I don't know, I just decided to say, okay, let me just get a passport. I don't know why I got a passport, but I just got a passport.
Okay.
I never had anyone who promised to take me anywhere, but being like there's a subject in high school called there's a subject in high school called civic education. Because of national identity. So while being there, I was learning. I was like, okay, so as a citizen, you need to have a voter's card, a driver's license, a national registration card, and the passport. I was like, oh, okay. Since I have a
I think the
national
network is.
registration card, passport, then a driver's license. I went and I applied for my passport. It took me a month. My passport came, and then someone connected me to an education consultancy, called Danis Connect. So my God, I joined in 2021, and that's the first time I knew of the ICCR scholarship for the study in India. I even started 100% ownership to sponsor for my hostel. I didn't have anyone to sponsor for my flight or my visa. So I had to let it go. I applied for the ICCR, they left me. And then November of 2020, I was working in Lebanon and everything. But we were to travel on the 24th, on the 25th of December. It never happened. Some issues we had to. I tried for again. This time, I never got to finish the application because I got discouraged. I'm like, okay, why should I be applying if they always leave me out? Um, I let it be. I pushed for the SII again, the study in India. I pushed for it. I wrote the exams, but the internet couldn't allow me. I never got the scholarship. So I had to get admission in a university in my country without knowing where the funds would come from. But I was like, okay, let's go. We'll just figure this out. Mm, I applied, I got admission. I started my first year financial accounting. Uh, 1 semester down, I didn't pay my fees, so they had to seize my results. I didn't get my results. The second semester started, I couldn't register because I never paid for the previous and I didn't pay for the registration. It was quite hard and discouraging. Turned to be suicidal and everything. Yeah, because I was slowly getting depressed because my friends, the ones I completed high school with, some of them are about to complete, some of them are like they've established themselves. And then being a firstborn with a single mom, I was like, okay, how am I going to survive? My mom doesn't work. Mm, I haven't gone to school. I'm growing myself. I don't have a job. How am I going to survive? What am I going to do?
And I think the internet is troubling us big time. We may have to um, really.
I started the first semester. Uh, my results came out. They blocked them because I didn't pay my fees. And for the second semester, that's the period when I had applied also for the ICCR scholarship. In April of 2023, I applied for it, and that's the period I started my first semester in a university of my country. So that semester finished, and then in August, I had started my second semester without registering. I was just going in class without being a registered student. Uh, okay, now they had to chase me away from school because I didn't pay. I remember I cried too much that day. Like I really cried too much because I was like, where am I going? What will happen to me? Because I'm 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 not I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not developing. I'm just on the same part. Like I'm stagnant. I'm not doing growing myself. Mm, after like the very day I cried and I prayed to God. I prayed to God with my friend because I started asking myself, I'm like, okay, God, I go to church, I give tithe, I'm a good child, I am a full member of a church, but why are you doing this to me? Are you punishing me for the sins of my parents? Are you punishing me for something that I did I don't know? Like, I had to question God, understand? Like, okay, what wrong did I do that you're always punishing me? What wrong did I do? Then my friend was like, "Oh no, believe in God." You know, there's a Bible verse in Matthew 17:20. It says, uh, "We people should learn to have faith like a mustard seed." You know how small a mustard seed is. So let's have that much of faith. But then at that point, my belief in God had just slimmed down because nothing was working. You know, I just became a backslider from church. I stopped going to church because why am I going to church? Why am I praying to God that is not answering me? I'm suffering. He's here watching me. Why? Mm, my friend prayed with me from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Like prayed, and then she said, when the time is right, I, the Lord, shall make it happen. So, in life, you get to want things to happen at your own time, whilst God has far better plans for it. So, the next day in the morning, um, I didn't want to go to do anything. I was just in bed because I'm not going to school. What am I going to do? And then a call came through and I was using Truecaller. So Truecaller identified to say the High Commissioner, the Indian High Commissioner to Lusaka. I'm like, what did I do? You know, because of your problems, you get to forget. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, what did I do? Why is this number calling me? Did I commit any problem? So I had to answer. I was like, hello, good morning. This is she applied for a scholarship. Da, 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 da. So now, because my problems succumbed my thoughts, like they swallowed my thoughts, and I was like, me, a scholarship. Which scholarship? No, I did not apply for anything. Let me, okay, please, what scholarship are you talking about? And then he goes like, oh, this. I'm like, the ICCR scholarship. I'm like, oh, you mean that one? Yeah, okay. Then this man says, go in the app and go and accept your offer or reject your offer. So now I'm telling him to say, what do you mean I should reject my offer? In my head, now I'm speaking to myself. I'm like, what do you mean I'm going through? In my head, I'm talking to myself. Then he said, scholarship. Give that very friend who was helping me pray to check for me, to read, to make me understand. I could read that it's a fully funded scholarship, but um am I the one being given that fully funded scholarship? After this girl read, she read everything. She's like, you've gotten the scholarship. I'm like, no, you're joking. I made 5 people read that acceptance letter. Like everything was clear, but then I just I just couldn't do it. Then they said he had given me, because he had called me on a landline, he had given me a number to call him once I accept or reject the offer. I called him. I told him to say, "Oh, I've accepted the scholarship." Then he said, "Okay, we're going to call you for in a week's time. We're going to call you for like an interaction with the High Commission at the embassy." Mind you, I had no idea which area was the embassy. I didn't even have money for the very transport. And then in the ICCR acceptance letter, there was a provision to say you need to have at least 700 US dollars as side money. Then you'll be paying about 6,700 US dollars for health insurance. That brought me back again to being depressed. I'm like, where am I going to get that money? I don't even have anyone that can give me that much money. Better still, my tuition was less than 100 US dollars, but I was unable to pay. How am I going to pay for this insurance? I didn't tell anyone. Mind you, no one knew about this scholarship other than my friends. I started pushing everything, everything, everything. I went to the embassy a week later. We had an interaction with the High Commissioner. We were 15 and 2 were left out. The 13 of us proceeded and we got the scholarship. Now, another stage was me having a vaccine, COVID vaccine certificate, and a yellow fever certificate. I didn't have those. I never did it because I never. Hey, you know, when God says it's your time, a bucket will hold water for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if it's just your time, a bucket will hold water for you. Okay, I had I had to organize a COVID vaccine and the yellow fever. That was another money. I went in debt, like I credited money. I was like, there's no way this thing is going to stand in my way. I've done it so much. I managed to organize the yellow fever and the COVID vaccine certificate. We went to do the fingerprints. Then they even sent the application link for the visa. We were doing everything. Application link. Then they said tomorrow bring print out the application and bring the yellow fever and the COVID certificate with your passport and everything. Okay, I organized in a space of 2 hours. I organized everything. Like I just had to get credit. I'm like, please, I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to pay back. Just help me. You know, I got in date for like almost almost, I think I could say 500 US dollars. Because honestly, I couldn't miss this opportunity. If I missed this, I wouldn't be here. Okay, we proceeded. Everything was printed. And then I had to tell my mother, like, today, the very day I'm traveling, I told my mother to say, uh, at 6 a.m., because we stay in a different city. So I had to call her and told her to say, so I've just been called for the application for the scholarship that I applied years ago because I didn't know where to tell her to say I've been doing it. So I told her to say I'm asking for. I've just been called for the application that I had applied for some time back, and they've called me. My mother was upset. My mother was against me traveling. Was against me traveling. So I told her to say, "There's nothing. There's nothing I can do because if I stay here, there's no way I'll get to complete this degree.
Yeah.
You even know yourself, you know, if I stay here, I won't do it because you want to be able to pay. We don't even have anyone to sponsor my studies. I traveled to India without money, like without money. People were, we traveled, the three of us. One of my friend had 600 US dollars. The other one had about 300 or 350 US dollars. I didn't have anything. So I was like, you know what? God, I leave it in your hand. Whatever you do, it's up to you. We traveled my visa. I go to the embassy to pick up my visa. Uh, my flight was for 3:25. I pick up my visa. You see the way people travel with three bags. Da, da, da. I came with a tiny suitcase like this, just with countable clothes. I was like, you know what? It will sort itself out. It will sort itself out. Just a minute. My laptop is going low. So I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, it will sort itself out because there's nothing I can do. I traveled with my tiny suitcase with just countable clothes. Um, I came here, and now there was some like registration fees I had to pay. I think the first day I came here, I had to pay about, if not a 35,000. Where to get that 35,000? I'm stuck. I'm like, okay, with this enemy, why? But then the good thing is there was already a countrymate of mine who had been studying here for like 4 years. So he loaned me money. He loaned me money for paying everything. My debt was going high, like was increasing now, because I already had that one that is from home, and now here. Okay, he gave me about, I think it should have been a 70,000 because I had to pay about 35 or 40,000, and then I had to get comfortable because I never carried any beddings. I never carried anything that would make someone to like start. As we were there, I managed to settle down. Like I settled, I started my classes. My mother only gave me her blessings to study here, I think 2 days later after I landed. Then she said, "Oh no, I bless you, study. She said all the good things. Like, you good." When she was still upset, I traveled. I said, whether she likes it or not, I am leaving. It's not like I'm paying anything, it's a free thing. And then her elder sister, who was taking me to the airport, had to call my cousin to find out. if really the scholarship is genuine or I'm not being trafficked, because she doesn't want to be blamed that she was the one that took me to the airport, everything. She said all those things. Ah, I got here. I arrived in September 21st. So I had to get comfortable. My first stipend came in November. I think I got about, no, hey, I've forgotten, but I got some much money, of which I had to start clearing everyone. Like I had to clear if I tell you that I only finished clearing the money last year, August, is
Mm.
when I finished clearing with everyone. Like, you know, when you're owing someone, your head is never at peace. You don't sleep well. You're thinking, how am I going to do it?
Absolutely.
But then, by the mercies of God, I managed to clear everything. Here I am, 2 years down the line. I'm standing here. Um, my younger brothers and sisters are like, oh, when I grow up I want to be like you. And so I look at them, I'm like, so I stand to be a role model, being a firstborn and having to have fought everything, in my country. If you don't go to school, it's marriage. You are literally just going to get a child, going to be a mom.
Mm.
But that is something that I stood against. I had relatives that would look at you like, this one, she's never going to go anywhere. She's just going to fail. She's going to be a mother. She won't get married. She's just going to be like her mom. You understand? My mom is a single mother. I was like, oh, okay, let me show you. Let's see who's stronger. Because, you know, I took the very wishes that they were wishing for my downfall to be like my motivation to work hard. My my life hasn't been all rosy like a bed of roses. It hasn't been a silver platter being offered. You had to fend for everything. There are days you'd sleep in an empty stomach, but who knows? I had to walk a distance, like, where Impact Hub is, and going to, I don't know if you know Draper Housing, to
Yeah.
walk back and forth going to school because I didn't have transport money. And hey, okay, the only thing I could say is God is the only person who knows what your story is. Right now things might not be working out. You might be struggling. You might like think of anything and everything being suicidal. But one thing you should remember is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. It says, "For I know the plans that I have for you. They are not the plans to harm you, but plans to give you a hope and a future." Like everything, it hurts. Yes, when things are not working out, you're trying and they are just not working out, then they are not just meant for you. But
Yeah.
it's been an amazing experience. Never did I ever imagine to meet people from different parts of the world, other than watching them on TV or knowing on the map that this country exists. And then you come and associate one on one with people from different parts of the world with different cultures, like a diversified culture, whereby you learn they do these things and you be like, so you do it like this. I didn't know that again. You understand? So it's been an amazing experience. And yeah, there's been the ups and downs, but I'm here. Only the only thing I need to do is put in my best, pass my grades, and proceed.
Wow.
The rest, the rest is settled. Honestly, I thank whoever thought of ICCR because they've given uh, underprivileged people like me a chance to study, a chance to achieve their dreams. Being here is not only to study, but I've created networks that even if tomorrow I decide to say, oh, I'm traveling to this part of the country, I know to say, oh, I have a friend we're studying with at Andrea University. Let me call and tell her to help me organize this. You understand? So I've created a large network, and I've learned a lot of things. It's not been easy, but yeah, I have learned, when I came here, because I never used to understand India's education system. Um, the first mid exams stressed me. Like they failed me because I didn't know that you had to write too much, you had to do what. And then the first semester exams we wrote, I was having 7 subjects. They failed me in two, 3 subjects. And then I started wondering. I cried. I was like, God, I moved very far from Africa. Like I moved very far from Zambia to come here and study. And then I'd be failing. What am I going to say? How am I going to do it? I have no one to fend for me if it happens. I applied for reevaluation. My results came out and they were all cleared. I wrote again, second semester exams. At this point, I was I was having 6 subjects with an internship. They passed me in 2 subjects with an internship, and they failed me in 4. Imagine the stress. Imagine the stress. At that point, I just sat down and said, you know what? Okay, God, I understand. I'm a failure because you want to label me a failure after reaching here.
Okay.
I went to apply for reevaluation. Each subject is 750. 4 subjects. I went to apply for reevaluation. From August, yeah, it should be, let me see. It should be August that we did our exams. Yeah, I wrote my exams in August. They came out. I applied for my revaluation. Tell me, these results only came out May 6th.
Okay.
I was like, God, should I be embarrassed to write with the juniors? Like, how am I going to write with the juniors? I'm a senior. Like, why? But then I was like, my friends, that's why your the circle of friends matters. You understand? I
Absolutely.
have I have friends that challenge my thinking. I have friends that make me try to go back to the drawing book and think, how am I doing something wrong? I have a friend from Namibia. This girl is smart. Like just the way she thinks, I'm like, huh, okay. We are only the 4 of us. We play the 4 of us. One girl from Namibia, one guy from Ghana, myself from Zambia. Then there's a girl from Botswana. So like that's a challenge. They give me that's a peer pressure I have. Like the peer pressure to work hard. When I look at them, they're like, damn, they're doing good. Let me push. I need to find myself there. You know? They're the people that will clap for you the loudest. In the midst of people, they will clap for you. They will cheer you on to pull up your socks and go and kick whatever you have to kick, but just have to do it. So the type of friends you have matters. If you have friends that are aimlessly sitting there, they're sorry. You have friends that are aimlessly sitting there. They don't think about the future in any way possible. You never develop. You need people that will challenge you as a person. You need people that will motivate you when you're down. Understand? Because the time my second semester results came out, I was like, okay, now I'm a failure. Because how am I failing 2 semesters? Now I'm a failure. Um, my friend, my boyfriend. Yes, I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend. This guy pushed me. It's someone that believes in you when you don't believe in yourself. There are times you'd be like, I can't do it. But then other people are like, no, you can do it. I believe in you. You're capable. You just believe in yourself. You can do it. Okay, I was like, okay, fine. After crying like the whole night, the next day I went to reevaluate my results. They only came this six. I came to Hyderabad on the 9th. They came out on the 6th. I jumped, like I jumped, the jumping that I did, because I was like, for the ambitions that I have, and to fail, it won't happen. You know, when they failed me, the first thought is, I'm not going to graduate with a first class distinction. That's the first thing that came to my head. Because in Andhra University, if you have supplementary exams, then it means you will never graduate with a first class.
Oh,
So when my results came out, I was ecstatic. Like, I was super excited. I'm like, God, I hear you. Thank you. I'm sorry I complained. I'm very sorry I complained. But then it's been a roller coaster ride. Being just from January to now, it's not been a smooth ride, but God has been there. God has been there. Like, I cleared every debt that I have at peace. You know, I even at times when I get my stipend, I get to send home. I share with my mom, because I am a husband after all. So there's nothing I can do. I'm a husband and I need to help out. But the very important lesson that I've learned from my life is never to give up. Uh, Set higher goals, aim high, no matter how hard it is. Because tell me why just a little girl who's 20 years old decides to go and apply for a passport. She has no one, she has no connection to anywhere in the world. She just
yeah,
says, okay, let me just go and get a passport. Like, at this point, if I tell you I'm in my fourth semester, but I'm already pushing for my master's, I've started organizing all the documents that I need. I have some scholarships that I've already applied for, because I want to establish myself. Even at the point when I'm settling down, I won't need to rely on a man to say, oh babe, my husband, I need so much, my mother needs this. He needs to come when I've already developed myself. Whenever I speak, hey, I keep you. I'm like, excuse me, you keep who? Uh, I'm a developed person. I'm independent. I'm independent. I'm a firstborn. So that thing of not counting on people is in me. Like, I believe, like, okay, I'm just going to do it on my own. And here we are. I got to the opportunity to meet Maarifaa and share my story.
amazing, amazing. This is so inspiring, Anna. I mean, it's not a easy journey what you had, but I mean, you are an inspiration today. You're not just
Ah,
inspiring your youngest, you're also inspiring people around you. That's amazing. The
because,
learnings what you
hey,
taught, the learnings what
no,
you taught is God gives us when we are ready. I'm a strong believer of law of attraction.
yes,
I'm
that's
a
one thing. That's one
Yeah,
thing. Honestly, let me just share a point. You know, if I got my scholarship between 2021 and 2022, I swear I'll be shoving it in everyone's face to say, I got the scholarship, I got the scholarship, I got the scholarship. You understand? I feel like, okay, God had to prepare me mentally, physically, and
absolutely,
emotionally for this.
absolutely,
Because when I got the scholarship, if I tell you to say, I've been in India for 2 years, and most people think I'm in some part of Zambia. Like, others think I'm in some. I saw it like it's not necessary for everyone to know exactly what I'm doing, but
yeah,
whoever had to know had to know. God had to, like, the way we mold clay, like a cup. It has to be molded. It will pass through the rough phase, the mud phase. It goes to the
absolutely,
dry. It becomes ceramic. You know that when you look at it, you'll be like, wow, this is beautiful. That's
yeah,
how God worked with my life, because he gave me the strength, the emotional strength, mental strength, physical strength, every strength that is there to handle whatever is coming.
amazing,
Yeah, I might have slugged at some point, thought of suicide, but he knew that, okay, and even if you think of it, you are not going to do it, because he only allows what he wants to allow. There is a
absolutely,
Bible verse in Romans. It says, the joy that is coming cannot be compared to the pain that you're feeling. Like, the pain that you're feeling right now, it can't be compared to whatever amazing things are coming in your life. Because
Absolutely.
look at me, I'm here. 2 years down the line, I'm here. I didn't, yeah, I might have been late. My friends are going in their masters, but I learned a theory to say if 5 plus 5 is 10, 2 plus 8 is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10. We all have our own different ways and our own different timings that we can achieve our goals. We will achieve, and yes, someone achieved their life at life goals at 16. Be it, congratulations to them. You achieve them at the age of 20. Congratulations, 25, 30, 35. But one thing is, we all have a time frame and a timeline where we're going to achieve our goals. Here it is hard. The road is rough. It's bumpy. But hold on to whatever you have to hold on for you not to fly out of the bumpy car. Just hold on, you will meet the smooth road. Yeah, at this point, if I tell you to say nothing can break me, I do not let it affect me, honestly. I do not. Mm, Getting my scholarship has really brought me closer to my family. I passed through this and this and this. That okay. Yes, my situation may not have been worse, but there's someone who experienced a worse situation than myself. But the fact that there is a part of me that experienced something and I'm sharing to someone, maybe they're going through something small, they'll get encouraged to say, okay, if she went through this and still survived it, I can also go through this and still survive it.
Yeah.
So that's life. That's life in general. I'm a very ambitious person because at this point, the if I say, I think I have now 6 scholarships pending that I need to submit, and others I'm waiting for the response for next year because I'll be completing my bachelor's next year.
Amazing.
There, I'm going. It's a two-way thing. It's either I'm going for my master's or I'm going for a second degree. So I'm aiming. I'm not just putting my eggs in one basket. I'm putting in different baskets.
Wonderful, wonderful. You are an aspiration. You look. You're definitely very ambitious person. Your journey says that. You just, I mean, pushed yourself so hard to, I mean, be wherever you are today. Amazing. Congratulations, Anna.
Thank you.
So, Anna, going through very rough time in your journey to come to India. Now, tell me, how was your first week or a first month of your experience in India?
First thing was the weather. Hey, I was feeling choked with the weather. Like the weather was
Yeah, you're
choking
the
me.
place, Vizag, Visakhapatnam.
I was like, you'd see it was September, mid September. You'd see that there's no sun, but the heat that is there is like it's like they're boiling you over here. I was like, how do people survive here? Then my countrymates who've been here for 3 years were like, no, you will survive. We are used. I'm like, what do you mean I'm going to survive? So you see, the weather is actually different. In Zambia, if it's hot, you can walk around without applying body milk. Like you'll be just fine. Here, I tried it for like a month. I'm like, it's hot. If I apply body milk, I'll start sweating. I suffered dry skin. My skin started itching my body. I had to see a dermatologist. Someone I knew that existed, but I honestly didn't know why they go to a dermatologist until I came here. I just started doing research. I was like, so a dermatologist is for the skin and the hair. And I went there. I treated me, yeah, and they gave me some cream to be applying, and my skin got back to normal. From there, I vowed no matter how hot it is, I'll just apply body milk. Even if I sweat wet shirt, I'm not going to go out with a dry skin. And other thing is, academically being exhausted. Like the Indian education system is vast, like extremely vast. If you compare it to my country, if you compare it to my country, it's actually different. Uh, is it? India will tell you to say, Anna, what is Impact Hub? In Zambia, I would describe Impact Hub in two, three, 4 lines. But India is expecting at least 3.5 pages. Yes. I was like, what am I going to write? You see, that was the first semester. They asked me communications. What is communication skills? Communication is a three line definition. How am I going to write 3.5 pages for it to fit? Then I started learning bit by bit. Yes, at that point I agreed. Failing it doesn't mean you are a failure. Failing means that you are just a step close to success. There's failure and there's being successful. If you fail, the next part is you succeed. That's
Absolutely.
something I learned. And the language barrier. That was the third thing I experienced. Like you can't get directions from anyone because uh, Telugu, Hindi nahi, English nahi nahi. I was like, what is that? Before I learned what the word means, English nahi. I was like, oh my god. But then bit by bit, I learned how to greet, how to just interact even without speaking. You understand? You just like, okay, because you just like, and so yeah, we learned to understand them. And then there was the uncomfortable phase whereby you're passing, then they'll be looking at you like this. I was like, okay, okay. Some of them will come and say hi and ask you where you're from, and others will just be looking at you like, but yeah, that was the first few months. But this time I think I'm more Indian because I'm used to whatever happens here. Like, and the food. Let me not forget the food. I suffered 2 months of being here. I suffered gastrointestinal issues. Like I started having gases. Whereby, hey, I had to, I went to this a hospital called Vijaya Diagnostic Center. That's where I spent about 20,000 for the scan, for the what, for the medicine, for everything. I was like, okay, thank you. You've drained me. I'm done. But yeah, it's been, other than those downs, it's been amazing. I've met really amazing people that in future, if I needed help, I know to say this one will help me. You see, just now I've created a network with Maarifaa and the
Yeah.
organization. So at any point, I'll just say, Mr. Venkat, okay, this is what I need from India. Can you assist me? You see, uh, even yourself, if I go back home, you'll be like, oh, Anna, Zambia, this, I need something from Zambia. Can you be able to organize? That's a network.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're in Visakhapatnam and it's largely Telugu speaking place. So have you picked up any Telugu language? Have you picked up any words in Telugu?
And favorite allow now. I learned I learned how to say poti, Anna poti, meaning Anna is short, and polowa, is it polovao? Polowao. What's the word?
To sing pulao?
When you want to say that someone is tall.
Yeah. Podavu. Yeah.
And yes, and the easiest enduku. Enduku.
Enduku, yeah. Enduku,
Yeah,
Potti.
you and the money ledu, baya money ledu. This
Bhaiya
one,
Manired.
money nay, money nay.
Nice, nice. You picked up
Yeah, but
quite a few words. Very good.
yeah, I learned. If I sit down with my country, my classmates, I'll be like, so how do some of them are just hard to do to say, but they would teach me because one thing I've realized. Uh, no offense, but Indians at the start you are not friendly. Like you're not friendly, but when you get to learn about a person, you get to be so excited and inquisitive. You want to learn how things are done, how things are so be like, so Anna, where you come from? What? How do you do this? I'm like, okay, you do it like this, like you do it like that. Oh, okay. So like, and then the culture difference, like the culture difference. There are certain things that I can comfortably do that Indian girls can't comfortably do. Hmm, just just 2 days before May 1st, I was in college. So my classmate is from Ghana, an African. So for us, greeting by a hug is okay. Like greeting by a hug is fine. So now for me, I was coming from far. I came from far and I jumped on him. No, no. Yeah, one professor saw me and caught the both of us and said, they say when you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. Is this an appropriate way of doing things? Like, sorry, sir. Because in Africa, it's normal. Like, it's
Yeah.
very, very normal. Is it an appropriate way of doing things? No, sir. We had to apologize and everything. So we're adapting to every difference. There are certain things that I don't see importance in, like, but then people here, it's very important. Like you need to respect it. So
Yeah.
that matter, I don't disrespect as long as I know that this is highly respected. But before I came here, because Hyderabad is the first, this is the first time I'm coming here. So someone had to give me like a walkover of what to say and not what to say here because this is how it is. I told it's a Hindu or Muslim dominated area. So there are certain things you just can't speak of randomly.
Mm.
That's why, you see the way the person told me whatever they told me, they created a path. Every for me to be able to do something, there was someone that did it and found that, okay, the error was here, I need to make it like this. It's the same way. If someone comes after me, I know what not to do and what to do, how not to say it. So I've learned it that way. I'm creating a path for a next generation that is going to come behind me.
Yeah. Got it. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, Anna, tell me your journey from Vishakhapatnam to Hyderabad. How was your journey? You took train or you've come by flight or how did that happen?
No, I came with a bus.
Oh, you came by bus. Okay. Well, how was your?
You know, at this point, I would say bus is a better experience than a train. I experienced a train and I was like, I'm never going to use a train again because, hey, I didn't know. Uh, I'm a person who wants to learn. So I try everything because I need to learn. Other than some hearing it from a second-hand person, I need to say, "Oh, I experienced this, but hey, I wouldn't advise." You understand? But then, so when coming here, I was like, "I've never traveled around India with a bus, so let me try." I booked a bus, which was 12 hours. Ha! The bus didn't have a washroom and charging ports. I just But then I had to move however I had to move. I started off at 6 p.m. from Vishakhapatnam. I arrived here around 8 or 9 a.m. and I had to get settled. So I was staying at Draper Housing. I stayed there for 2 days before I could find the PG. So After 2 days, then we had to move about. Yeah. And what's funny is about the way the internship came my way.
Mm.
It was the last day of our going to school before we go for the summer holidays. I met one friend of mine who was a final year student, like she's completed master. She was doing law. So she asked me. She came to meet me by outside my department. She's like, "Oh, Anna, so what are your plans for your summer holidays?" I was like, "I would probably go for there's a summer trip that is organized by an African student. I was like, I'll probably go to Goa for the summer trip, or I would do an internship." So she asked me to say, "What kind of internship are you looking for? Is it paid? Are you able to relocate if it needs you to travel?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I need to get the experience." I last year I did my internship and it was online, which really didn't give me the hands-on experience that I needed, but I learned something.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, because physical I would even prefer, because there'll be nothing I'll be doing in the hostel.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So that was at 12 p.m. She sent my status, and she sent a Google form. So I filled it in. But then at 5 to write, because at that I'll do it later. Eat, I do what? Now let me retire to bed. I sleep for the day. So as I get to bed, 1 hour later, oh, I didn't submit that internship. I did not. So at one, I start filling in my. I start had to say, "Oh, I've submitted." And around 11 a.m., I received a call from Ola. She's like, "Oh, you applied for an internship." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Yes, I did." And everything that has happened in my life, I now let God take control. I
Absolutely.
let God take control, because He alone knows the plan. Because I only submitted the M, in that 11 a.m. I was called for an interview.
Yeah.
And I only got to find out that the very day I was applying was the last day.
Got it. Got it. Wonderful. So, Anna, wonderful. I mean, I'll ask three questions. It's a kind of a rapid fire, uh, very short answers. Okay. So, what's your favorite dish? Indian dish?
My favorite Indian dish is chicken manchuria with fried noodles and or fried
Chicken Manchuria with fried noodles. That's what you said.
chicken manchuria with fried noodles or chicken fried rice.
Okay.
I'm not a vegetarian, so I like too much meat. I
Got
like,
it.
but even biryani I do like. I find it to be very spicy for me.
Got it. Got it. Okay. One word to describe your journey so far, Anna.
The word
One word to
determination.
one word to describe your journey so far. Determination. That's what you said.
Determination. Yes, determination.
Wonderful. India in three words.
Huh?
India in three words.
A lot. It's huge. India is huge. And it's a diversified country. It's beautiful because I've been to most part of some parts of India. I've been to Greater Noida, Vijayawada, Delhi, Chandigarh, and now Hyderabad with Vishakhapatnam. So it's very beautiful, and it depends with the people that you meet. Otherwise, India is beautiful.
Amazing, amazing. Anna, I know we know each other for about nearly 15, 20 days now, but I never seen you so much expressive today until today. Okay, you are super. You are a super energetic individual. You're a person with a lot of energy. Thank you for sharing your
Yeah.
journey. Internet was troubling, but otherwise, I would love to have one more conversation with you to go deeper into your life and learn more about yourself. But otherwise, thank
No,
you very much
I
for.
would honestly love it. I would love to share my so. You know, I actually grew up to. I was a very energetic person. Pushing through whatever comes my way. You know, I've taken up leadership roles. Currently, I'm serving as the events minister of the Association of Zambian Students in India. So I'm an executive. I was a vice until last year, December, and then from January this year to like 2027, I'm going to be the main minister of events. So I organize events around India for the students.
Got it. Got it. So Anna, I would request you to please spread the news about Maarifaa in your community, and would love to take your support in making this mission most meaningful for every African youth who's looking at studying in India. And thank you very much for being with me on this session today. And we'll keep in touch and we'll talk more about your journey. Thank you very much. Finally, you have
Thank
you have
you,
anything
Mr.
to
Beckett.
finally you have anything to share with the people with the audience, I mean, who are or aspiring youth who are looking at India to come and study. You have anything to share with them?
Okay, my only advice is going to be like it gets rough, but no matter how much it tries to bring you down, just keep pushing and do not do not be
Yeah, Anna, I think let me just end this session.
the network hasn't been